Hi everyone, my name is Nicole, and today I'm bringing you a beginner's yoga flow on Genesis Go. This class is accessible to anyone, regardless of your experience or ability. I just want to provide something that has some transitions that are simplified a little bit more so they are more accessible to people who are maybe just getting started in their practice, or maybe for people who want to take things just a little easier today. Regardless, there will be something for everyone. We'll get started. Please find a comfortable seated position on your mat. Allow the shoulders to balance on top of the hips, the ears to balance on top of the shoulders. Begin to bring your attention to your breath. Noticing the rhythm as you breathe in and out. Noticing the areas that expand with the inhalation. The areas that soften with the exhalation. Another smooth breath here, just observing. Noticing the areas that shift. On the next breath in, sweep the arms up, look up toward the hands. Exhale to bring the hands down toward the heart. Staying rooted in the sitting bones, breathe in, sweep the arms up, lengthen through the sides of the waist. Exhale to bring the hands down toward the heart. And one more time, smooth breath in, feel the sides of the body lift and lengthen, the shoulders will open. Exhale, the hands come down toward the heart. Just a little bit of soft twisting here. Take your right foot, bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. Left hand will come to the front of the shin. Right hand comes behind you as you rotate toward the inside of the leg. Staying long and tall through both sides of the waist, either looking toward the wall or looking over the back shoulder. And stay here, take a breath in. Stay here as you exhale, twisting more deeply. And unwind, bring the body back to center. Switch the cross of the legs. Again, breathe in, sweep both arms up, look up. Hands come down toward the heart to release. Okay, let's do the other side. Your left foot will come to the mat. Sole of the foot is down, knee is up. Right hand comes to the front of the shin. Left hand behind you as you rotate toward the inside of the knee. And staying tall through the body, still pressing down through both sitting bones to give yourself the foundation. Either looking toward the wall or turning to look over the back shoulder. Staying here, taking a breath in. Staying here as you exhale, twisting more deeply. And unwind, bring the body back to center. Crossing the legs, breathing in, sweeping both arms up, looking up. Hands come down to the heart to release. All right, let's stretch into the sides of the waist before we get moving here. Take the right hand beside you, sweep the left arm over. Left elbow can be bent if that feels better for the neck, for the shoulder. Still pressing down through both sides of the hips, lengthening through the sides of the body, either looking toward the left knee or tilting the head to look underneath the left arm. Allow the jaw to soften. Take a breath in here. Stay here as you exhale. And bring the shoulders back over the hips. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, roll the shoulders open. Hands come down to the heart to release. All right, our other side, taking the left hand beside you, sweeping the right arm over. Again, your option here, if bending the elbow feels better for the neck, the shoulder, then you can do so. We're still staying down, pressing down through the sitting bones so we can then lengthen through the sides of the waist. You'll turn the head to either look toward the right knee or look underneath the right arm. Staying here as you breathe in. Allowing the exhale to release completely. And bringing the shoulders upright. Both arms sweep. Full breath in, lengthening. exhale, the hands come down toward the heart. All right, let's come on to hands and knees, a tabletop position. Palms are flat, fingers are spread, elbows straight, knees are down on the mat, your shins and toes are pointing straight back. Now as you breathe in, let your abdomen and chest sink down toward the mat. Look forward, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, round the back, look toward the thighs as you reach the spine toward the ceiling, cat pose. Then neutral spine, your flat back. Walk your hands forward, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Then tops of the feet, toes point straight back. We have 2 rounds of Cobra Pose. Start by keeping the hands light. Make sure your spinal muscles and your legs are doing the work here to lift and lengthen you. Breathing in, Cobra Pose. And slowly lower down on the exhale. The chin nods in, forehead comes down to the mat. And breathing in, Cobra Pose. Lengthen through the body. Shoulders wide, neck long. And slowly lower down as you exhale. Okay, press up hands and knees, tabletop. Knees come wide, big toes come together. Sit back toward the heels for child's pose, just for a few breaths. Opening up through the front of the shoulders, releasing through the hips. So this position in the shoulders is very similar to our downward facing dog. There will be a line from the wrist through the shoulders, through the torso. You'll be hinging at the front of the hips to help lift the hips high away from the mat. Just taking a mental note of how this feels. And shift forward, hands and knees. All right, let's give that downward facing dog a try. Your hands underneath your shoulders. Step your feet back so you're in a plank position. And then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now this is your first one of the practice, so you can keep the knees fairly bent, and that will allow you to keep that line from the wrists through the shoulders, through the torso and hips. We just don't want to be in a half plank position, and we don't want to have the legs so straight that the low back is rounding. So find that middle ground for yourself. We will come back to this. So giving the body a chance to warm up and lengthen. The head hangs down so you're looking back toward the knees or the shins. And take another breath here. And then begin to walk your feet toward your hands, top of the mat, as many steps as you need. Bend the knees further, take your hands to the shins, lengthen your spine, flat back. Look about 3-4 feet in front of your toes so the neck is long. Fold forward on the exhale, your abdomen comes to the thighs, neck hangs down, your knees can stay bent. That will allow the spine to relax further. And inhale to lengthen your flat back. Walk your hands up the legs, roll the shoulders back to rise. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up, look up. Hands come down to the heart to release. And breathing in, sweeping the arms up, looking up. Exhale, fold through the center, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, walk your hands down to fold. Hands are either on the floor or the shins, your choice, whatever works for your body right now. Take a breath in, find your flat back, and touching something to support the back. Step yourself back to a plank pose. So you're looking in front of the hands so the neck stays long, setting your foundation for the hands and the feet. And from here, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog, pressing the mat away with the hands, pulling your torso back with the tops of the thighs, letting the head hang so you're looking back toward the legs. And knees can still be bent, heels can be lifted, but the arms and the legs are working together to keep the body in this upside down V position. Then shift forward, lower the knees to the mat. We'll step the right foot forward to a low lunge. Make sure your front foot is flat, the knee and toes are pointing forward, hands will come to the top of the thigh to lift the shoulders up, right? So the shoulders balance on top of the hips. We aren't leaning too much into that front knee. We're finding that equilibrium between the front foot and the back knee. Now you can keep the hands on the top of the leg for support or sweep the arms up, taking a breath in. Palms can face one another and they can come to touch. Lengthening the fingertips toward the ceiling, take another breath. And slowly lower the hands down. You'll bring the hands to the inside of the foot, slide your right knee back to a tabletop position. Toes curl for your plank, hips lift up and back for your downward facing dog. Then reset the hands, the feet. Take a breath here. Nice. Shift forward, lower both knees down to that tabletop position. We'll come into the other side now. Your left foot will step forward. Sole of the foot is flat, knee and toes are forward as you bring the hands to the top of the thigh and lift the shoulders. Finding that equilibrium between the front foot, the back knee. A little bit of wobbling is okay. We are working on balance here. Hands can stay on the leg or both arms can sweep, breathing in. Then the length through the sides of the waist, reaching the fingertips toward the ceiling. Keeping the breath smooth and calm. One more moment here. And slowly lower the hands down. Hands will come to the inside of the left foot as you slide yourself back to that tabletop position. Toes then curl, hips lift to a plank position, then downward facing dog. So each time you come back to this pose, you'll notice a few changes. Maybe the legs are a bit more straight, the heels are closer to the mat. Just observing, celebrating those small areas of progress. You can bend the knees, walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Take a breath in, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, arms sweep as you rise. Come all the way up, palms turn up, chest legs. Hands come down to the heart to release. All right, I'm going to turn toward you. We'll come into tree pose from here so you can see where the balance is today. Hands will start on the hips. Your left leg will stay down on the mat. Right knee will turn out at an angle. Your heel can come to the inside of the ankle, just using the toes as a kickstand, or foot to the inside of the shin. Or you can use your hand to help bring the foot into position. You can keep the hand there to help assist the leg. Or as you feel steady, the hands can come in front of you. Arms can reach if you're feeling good. Just taking your time here. Allowing the gentle wobbling, it's part of the pose. Nice work, everybody. Slowly bring things back. Lower the foot down to the mat. Take a breath in here, sweep the arms up. Interlace the fingers, tilt over toward the right side, either looking toward the mat or turning the head to look underneath the arm. Bend the elbows, bring the shoulders upright, hands release down. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Your right leg will stay down. Left knee turns out at an angle, heel to the inside of the ankle, toes as a kickstand, or begin to find your foot placement for your tree pose. Now this may be very different from the previous side, and that's okay. It doesn't have to match. Just letting this be its own pose, its own moment. Hands can be in front of you, or arms can begin to reach. Be patient. Allow the wobbling. Nice job. Bring everything back to center. Lower the sole of the foot back to the mat. Breathe in, arms sweep as you look up. Interlace the fingers, tilt over toward the left side, rolling the right shoulder open, either looking toward the mat or underneath the right arm. Bending the elbows, bringing the shoulders upright, hands release down. Okay, I'm going to step to the top of the mat. grab myself a drink, and we'll move into Warrior Two. So for Warrior Two, your right foot will stay forward, left foot steps back. Make sure your right toes, your right knee are pointing straight forward. Back leg is straight, you're pressing through the outside of the left foot. Arms come out beside you at shoulder height, looking over the front fingertips. Strong in both legs, you're pressing down firmly to the soles of both feet. Your shoulders are balanced over the hips. There's a little bit of rotation through the torso. Take another breath here. And lower the back hand, flip the right palm, reverse your warrior, lengthen through the right side, look underneath the right arm. And bring the arms back to their starting position for your Warrior Two. Just one more time, the palm flips, left hand lowers, sweeping the arm back, reverse your warrior. Level out the arms, hands come back to their starting position, Warrior Two. Nice, take the hands to the hips, turn both feet toward the side of the mat, heel toe the feet back to center, step to the top of the mat. We'll take a forward fold in between, breathe in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, knees can bend, you're hinging at the hips to bring the abdomen to the tops of the thighs. Allow the head, the neck to release, feeling this length through the spine, through the back of the legs. And breathe in, lengthen your spine, flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, arms sweep as you rise, palms turn up, chest lifts. Hands come down to the heart to release. All right, let's do Warrior Two on the other side. Left foot forward, right foot steps back. Making sure your left toes, your left knee is pointing straight forward. Right leg is straight, you're pressing through the outside of the right foot. Arms will come out beside you at shoulder height. Both legs are active. Shoulders are balanced on top of the hips, so just turn a little bit more so that your shoulders are facing the wall on the side of the room. Looking over the left fingertips. And take another breath here. Just lower the right hand, flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. Under the left arm, lengthen the side of the waist. Bring your hands back to your starting position, Warrior Two. And lowering the right hand, flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. Space through the left side, level the arms out, palms turn down for your Warrior Two. Take another breath here, you got it. And then take the hands to the hips, turn both feet toward the side of the mat, heel toe things back to center, and then step to the top of the mat. And once you're there, take a breath in, arms sweep up, look up, find a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, fold forward, arms sweep back as you lower down. Take a breath in here, find your flat back. Step your feet back to your downward facing dog. So you're starting to press the mat away right away to open up the shoulders. You're hinging at the front of the hips, the sitting bones lift away from the heels. Head hangs in between the upper arms. Let the jaw soften, take another round of breath in this position. And then shift forward, lower the knees to the mat. Take a child's pose or grab a drink if you need. And releasing through the hips, allowing the front of the ribs to soften onto the thighs. And smooth, easy breathing. Shift forward, hands and knees. So we'll take a modified side plank. Your right hand will be down. Make sure your fingers are pointing toward the front of the mat. They aren't turned sideways or out to one side of the mat or the other. They're pointing forward. Palm is flat. Your right knee will be underneath your right hip. Left foot steps back, left hand to the hip as you find your stability. You can either look toward the hand that's on the mat, sometimes that's helpful for establishing balance, or you can look toward the wall that you're facing. Left hand can stay on the hip, or it can reach up toward the ceiling, palm faces the wall. You're lifting the right side of the waist away from the mat, lengthening through the left side of the waist, through the left hip. Take another breath here. Slowly bring yourself back down to the mat. Both hands, both knees come down. Curl the toes, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Notice the difference between the sides each time you come back to this pose. And then shift forward, lower both knees down to the mat. This time your left hand will stay down. Left fingers point toward the top edge of the mat. Your right knee, or your right foot steps back. Left knee is down, right hand to the hip. And you can stay here, just working on the balance, maybe looking toward the hand that's on the mat. Or you can look toward the wall in front of you. Maybe the right hand reaches up, palm faces the wall, finding that T through the upper body. You're lifting the left side of the waist away from the mat, lengthening through the right side of the waist, through the right hip. Neck is long, take another breath here. Good job, turn yourself down, both hands, both knees come down to the mat. Curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment and reset the hands, the feet. And we'll transition to warrior two from here. So for this one, I want you to shift forward. Again, lower the knees down to the mat. Your right foot will step forward like you're coming back to that lunge position, but keep your back toes curled. So an option of a way to get into warrior two from your downward facing dog. With your left toes curled, you'll lift your left knee. Your hands can then come to the top of the right thigh as you spin your left heel down, shoulders pull back over the hips, warrior two. Now once you get here, as I'm doing, you can adjust the feet so that they're in a more comfortable and appropriate position for you. You're looking over the front fingertips. Again, finding that foundation through the legs. Finding that strength through the body. Lower the left hand, flip the right palm, reverse your warrior. This time, lean forward, your legs stay the same. You're bringing your right elbow to the top of the thigh for extended side angle. Shoulders turn toward the side of the room. Left arm reaches, so you're creating a T in the upper body. Still pressing down through the left foot. That's going to help lengthen the side of the waist and take pressure off of your right knee. Breathe in here. You can look toward the foot, toward the wall, or if you want to add a balance challenge, you can turn the head looking up toward that top hand. Last breath here. Okay, we're already halfway down. Take your left hand to the hip. Look toward your right foot as you lift the back heel to pivot. Hands come down. Now you can lower the back knee to slide your right foot back. Curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We're back where we started. We do have another side breath. Stay here, take a fresh breath. Try not to anticipate or overthink, just allow it to happen. And shift forward, lower both knees down to the mat. Left foot will step forward, so you're in that lunge position. Right toes stay curled. Hands will come to the top of the thigh as you lift the back knee. Right heel spin, shoulders pull back. Arms come out beside you, warrior two. And then adjust the feet as you need. Making sure your front foot is flat. Your knee is centered over the ankle, so we aren't leaning too far forward. Both legs are strong and active. Lower the right hand, flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. This time as you come forward, extended side angle, left elbow comes to the top of the thigh, still pressing through your back leg, your right arm will reach, creating a T in the upper body. Opening through the shoulders, lengthening through the right side of the waist. And find the place to look that is best for your balance, for your neck, either toward the front foot, the wall that you're facing, or up toward that top hand. Take another breath here. You're strong and steady. Good job. All right, we're halfway there. Take the hand to the hip as you look toward your front foot. Lift your right heel. Pivot. Again, knee can lower so you can transition your front foot back to that tabletop position. Toes curl, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. You got it. Take a moment. Reset the foundation. Reset the breath. Then bend the knees, walk the feet to meet the hands, top of the mat. Take a breath in here, find your flat back. Fold forward on the exhale. Breathe in, palms turn up, sweep the arms as you rise, opening up through the chest, a little bit of a back bend. Hands come down to the heart to release. Nice work. All right, pyramid pose from here. So the feet are not as far apart as with our warrior two positions. And also your shoulders and your hips are facing the front of the mat this time. So you're finding a position in the feet where you can have the hips forward, shoulders forward. Your back foot is still at a little bit of an angle. Front toes are pointing toward the top of the mat. Right leg is forward to start. Small bend to your right knee as you lean forward. Hands can walk their way down the right leg, so you're resting on the shin, the ankle, or if you're able to reach the ground, you're welcome to do so. You can also use a wall or even a chair or table if you're still working on the flexibility and the balance in some of these poses. Either looking toward the front foot, letting the head, the neck release, looking toward the back leg. Allowing this to be your practice, taking what you need. Keeping the breath calm and steady. And the stretch through the back of the right leg. One more breath here. Good job. Okay, to come out of this position, bend your right knee, take the hands to the top of the leg, lift the shoulders upright, step the feet together, breathe in, sweep both arms up. This time turn the palms toward the wall in front of you, cactus the arms to the front of the chest lifts. Inhale, both arms sweep back up, hands come down to the heart. All right, our other side, left foot forward, right foot steps back. And finding that positioning in the feet so that the hips, the shoulders are facing forward. There's a little bit of an angle to this back leg, and you might find that you need to adjust the feet as you come into position. Small bend to the left leg as you walk your hands down the leg. For pyramid pose, it can straighten as you feel ready. If you're able to reach the mat, you're welcome to do so. Either looking toward the front foot or letting the head release, looking toward the back leg. And it may be that this side feels very different from the previous side, and that's okay. Just allowing it to be its own pose, its own moment in your practice. Keep the breath smooth. Both legs stay active. You're feeling the stretch through the back of the left thigh. One more moment here. Nice work. Okay, keeping pressure in both feet. Bend your front knee. Hands come to the top of the thigh to lift the body away from the mat. Both feet step together. Take a breath in, arms sweep up. Palms turn toward the wall in front of you. Cactus the arms to open the shoulders, lift the chest. Inhale, the arms reach. Hands come down to the heart. All right, take the hands beside you, palms turn forward. Maybe allow the eyes to close here for a moment. Just notice the changes you created for yourself. Feel the difference in the body. There's a lift to the heart. There's more activity in the legs. The chest feels more tall and proud. The mind feels more calm. Breathing in, sweep the arms up, looking up. Exhale, folding forward, abdomen toward the thighs, head and neck release. Take a breath in here, find your flat back. Plant the hands, step yourself back to your last downward facing dog. So maybe this downward facing dog doesn't look exactly the way that you would like it to, but you have made some improvements from when you first began. Acknowledge those and celebrate them. Noticing those little areas of progress toward your goals. And from here, shift forward, lower the knees down to the mat. We'll find our way to a seated position. Both legs will reach forward. Dandasana, stack toes. So the toes are pointing up toward the ceiling. Sometimes the feet want to roll so that the outside of the feet move forward. Just find that position where the legs are active. The feet don't have to be touching. If it feels better for the low back, you can bring the feet more hip distance, and you can use the hands to help bring your spine into a more upright position. You can even use the hands to help tilt you forward if your back needs that assistance. From here, take a breath in, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Finding that position that works in your body today. If you aren't able to reach the feet, you can always hold on to the back of the knees, the calves, allowing the back of the neck to release. Allowing the arms to soften, front of the chest relaxes. Breathing here. Slowly walk the hands back so the shoulders come upright. Bend your right knee, bring it out to the side for Marichiyasana. You'll turn your torso so that it's facing the straight leg, your left leg. If this does not feel good on your knee, you can take your leg and just straighten it out to the side. You'll still get the benefits of this stretch and the release through the back. Arms will walk forward in the direction of the foot, holding on to the ankle or the foot if you are able to reach it. Trying to keep the shoulders level with the mat. Reaching the right knee away from the torso. Finding an area of the body that can work a little less right now. Last breath here. Bring the shoulders back on top of the hips. Before we come into the other side, we We are going to keep the right knee bent. Just cross the leg over so the sole of the foot is on the mat. Left leg stays straight, toes continue to point up. You'll hold on to the outside of the right leg. Right hand will come behind you to twist. Shoulders balance on top of the hips. Spine is centered with the hips as you rotate, either looking toward the wall or looking over the back shoulder. Unwind, bring yourself back to center. Cross your legs so that your right leg is in front of the left. And then walk your hands forward, releasing into the hips, pressing into the palms, sitting bones, allowing the low back to release. Top of the head releases in the direction of the hands. And let's release to the outside of the hips. And another breath here. And then walk your hands back. Shoulders come upright. The hands will help bring the legs back to center, straightening both legs just to reset for a moment. Then your left knee will bend, sole of the foot comes to the inside of the right leg. Right toes are pointing straight up. Again, the option to straighten the leg out to the side if you need an alternative for this knee. Folding over the right leg, hands will hold on to either the shin, the ankle, or the foot if you are able to reach it. Leveling the shoulders with the mat. Reaching the inside of the left knee away from the torso to help provide that inner thigh stretch. Smooth, easy breathing here. And slowly bring the shoulders back over the hips. Take your left leg, keeping the left knee bent, crossing it over the right so the sole of the foot is on the mat. Your right arm will hold on to the outside of the leg as you twist toward the other side. Either looking toward the wall in front of you or looking over the back shoulder. Even rotation through the spine is balance on top of the hips as you turn. Everybody unwind, come back to center, cross the legs, bring the left leg in front of the right, hands again walk forward to release into the low back of the hips. And if you are able to reach your arms as forward as what you're seeing, as you're seeing me do, you can take the hands out wide and just keep the elbows bent, let the chin come toward the chest. You'll still get that release in your low back and in the legs. You just want to keep that grounding sensation through the hands and through the sitting bones. Keep the breath calm and steady. And walk yourself back upright. Straighten both legs. Hands can help bring them back to center. And one more time, breathing in, sweep the arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Noticing the progress from the first time you came into this position. Just another breath, another moment. The shoulders back upright. Bend the knees so the soles of the feet come onto the mat. Then ease yourself back, knees hug in toward the chest. Low back and shoulders rest on the mat. From here you have the option of keeping the legs in this position or coming into happy baby. The hands will reach to the inside of the knees to hold on to the shins. You can hold on to the ankles, or soles of the feet move toward the ceiling. You hold on to the outside of the feet. Allow the body to settle. Letting the spine press into the mat. Another breath here. Bring the knees back to center. Reach the legs long, arms reach overhead, taking a full body stretch. Allow the hands to come out wide beside you. Feet roll out to the edges of the mat for your final Shavasana. The eyes move in the direction of the ceiling, and then the eyelids softly close. You're allowing yourself simply to be here in the stillness for a few moments. Letting go of any work in the body. Releasing effort and control that may be keeping you from finding some peace. Resting in this moment right now, you're doing everything exactly as you should. Slowly begin to bring small motion to the fingers, the toes. Roll out the wrists and the ankles. Bend the knees so the soles of the feet come flat on the mat. Roll over toward the right side. Right hand is a pillow for a few breaths. Use your hands to press the body upright to a seated position. Palms come to touch in front of you. Eyes stay softly closed. Noticing the positive changes that you've created, both in the mind and in the body. Take a full breath in here, feel the chest expand and lift. As you exhale, the chin nods in toward the chest, the shoulders release. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your practice today, for letting me come into your home and share this moment with you. Namaste. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all joining me, letting me share this with you, and also sharing your time with me. If you would like to have access to more videos, we have all kinds of yoga videos, exercise videos, just about anything that you can need right now on our Genesis Go YouTube page or our Facebook page. Please take a look, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.